is a true honor to be here among you at this Global Leaders Meeting on Women, organized under the theme, One Shared Future, New and Accelerated Process for Women's All-Round Development. I bring with me warm greetings from my government and my people, including the women and girls of Sri Lanka, who form the backbone of our society and economy. Excellency President Jinping, I thank you for your leadership at this significant moment where leadership on gender and women's equality is so important. All-round development of women is holistic progress of women in education, health, economy, politics, society, and culture. 30 years ago, the world came together in Beijing for the 4th World Conference on Women under the theme Action for Equality, Development and Peace. The Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, adopted at the conference by 189 countries, remains one of the most progressive and comprehensive instruments for achieving gender equality. It laid out a clear vision and identified 12 critical areas of concern, highlighting the systemic barriers women face across every sphere of life: poverty, economic, political, and institutional participation, education and healthcare that must be addressed to achieve full gender equality. By addressing these interconnected areas in a comprehensive way, the framework contributes to women's overall development, ensuring not only their basic welfare, but also their rights, empowerment, and ability to participate fully and equally in shaping society. Despite gains, significant gaps remain. At the current pace, it will take an additional 137 years to end extreme poverty among women. Today, 47.8 million more women than men face moderate or severe food insecurity. Women also remain underrepresented in the fields that will shape our future, accounting for only 35% of all graduates in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And in politics, gender parity in parliament remains a distant dream, not expected to be reached before 2063. The political declaration adopted at the 69th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, held early this year in New York, which also marked the 30th anniversary of the 4th World Conference on Women, acknowledged a hard truth: that no country has fully achieved gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. Progress in fulfilling the commitments made under the 12 critical areas of concern of the Beijing Platform for Action has been slow and uneven. Excellencies, my country holds the honor of having elected the world's first female Prime Minister in 1960. Building on that legacy, our recently concluded general elections have paved the way for 22 women from diverse social backgrounds, including those from working class and marginalized communities, to take a place in the country's legislature, the largest number of women to be represented in our parliament. Our government now includes 2 women cabinet ministers, myself among them, as well as a woman deputy minister. We have pledged to create the structural and social changes needed to increase women's political participation and to ensure that women are represented in leadership and decision-making at every level across every field. Standing here today, I reflect on the path carved by countless women who dreamed, who fought. It is on their shoulders that I stand as a woman, as a leader, and in solidarity with the hope and determination to carry forward the fight for greater gender equality and equal opportunity for every woman and every girl. Your Excellencies, I also note with concern the growing global pushback against gender equality and human rights, which directly shapes what can be achieved at the national level. That is why, Your Excellency, President Jinping, this is why this summit and your global leadership is so critical at this moment. The gender divide is widening, with increasing numbers of young men gravitating towards right-wing ideologies, thereby undermining the hard-won gains of women's movements. This backlash is at least partly rooted in the failures of neoliberalism, which has created fertile ground for authoritarian, illiberal, and undemocratic narratives. The Global Government Initiative and other initiatives announced by the Chinese government, and also what His Excellency the President announced today, is a sign of real progressive and liberal thinking, and we in Sri Lanka stand ready to support these initiatives. As I stand here today, I stand with the women and girls whose hopes and dreams demand a brighter future. I speak for those who strive, often against great odds, to claim their right to education and to quality health care. I speak for the mothers, daughters, and sisters who work tirelessly to provide for their families, balancing immense responsibilities at work and at home with unwavering resilience. Their courage and determination inspire us all, and it is our solemn duty to ensure that their aspirations are not deferred but fulfilled, that every woman and girl has the opportunity to thrive, to lead, and to shape the destiny of our nation and our world. As we gather here in this defining moment, let us remember that the greatest gift we can offer to the world, to the future, and to ourselves is action that is not confined by borders or national agendas. This is the era to propel a bold and unwavering agenda for women's empowerment. Gender equality is not a women's issue. It is a societal issue that demands attitudinal and behavioral transformation. True progress demands that we leave no one behind. By embracing gender-sensitive policies and budgets, we can unlock the full potential of every citizen and build economies of opportunity for all. Let us close the digital divide, ensuring that women and girls are not only users of technology, but creators and leaders in innovation. Let us recognize the value of unpaid care work and reduce the burden through shared responsibility and supportive public services. No woman is safe until every single woman is safe. Let us stand firm in declaring zero tolerance for gender-based violence, and let us commit to climate action that is not only urgent, but also deeply gender-sensitive. Together, we can create a future that is more just, inclusive, and sustainable, a future where equality is not an aspiration, but a living reality. I invite each and every one of you to join hands in securing this future for the women and girls in our respective countries.